In this tutorial, what we want to do is a name access list. In the last tutorial, we did an extended access list that basically, all right, let's take a look at it. That access the list from R1 on the inbound interface. And let me just check here because we have our running configuration up, right? And as you can see, that the access list 100 permits to identify itself as an extended access list, all right? Permitting the source, the 2 network, class C, host 1.254, all right, to WW port 80, all right? And what we could see too on line 2 is that it's permitting the 2 network also to access the 4 network, all right? And what we want to do basically is to rewrite this access list, all right? We're going to delete it first and rewrite it into a name access list, all right? So what we're going to do is to head back to our interface again, command interface. We go to conf t because we're going to have to delete the last access list that was there, all right? And we would just go no access list, no access, and I could tab here, access, all right? I could tab no access. Let me just do this properly. No access, all right? Tab list, and it was 100, all right, to get rid of that, okay? And if you show in our running configuration, we'll also delete it from the interface, all right? So we would need to get rid of it from our interface. As you can see, it is attached to the interface up here, all right? So how I'm going to do this is that I'm going to go into the interface, and that would have been F A 0/1 because that would have been inbound, right? And I could check it here if I wish, right? Inbound F 0/1, all right? And I'm in the interface, and I'm going to say no IP, all right? Access group, press a tab there, and the number 100, and that would have been inbound, all right? So I'll exit, and I'll exit again, I'll end, and I'll do a copy run start just to save the running configuration, all right? Do a show run just to make sure it is no longer there, all right? So it's not on the interface, as you can see here, and we have no access list, all right, there. Cool. So now it's time for us to write our name access list, and we can start with the access list, but we must start with IP access list, which is a little different option, because before, when you had write it, we would have started with just saying let's take a look at it. So you go to conf t, all right, and we'll take a look at IP access, all right. I'm going to put a question mark on it, and you'll see that there's only 2 options alone came up, all right. They have extended, all right, and standard. So basically we would want to get to write one that gives us the option where we could do a name access list, all right. So what if you suppose IP access list extended, all right, I'm going to press tab here, and I press a question mark. You see we have a word, all right, that we could write, or a name, all right, and we could start off by writing our access list as a name access list. So when you go access list extended. I'm going to type web. I'm going to call this web. I'm going to press a question mark. And you see the only other option that we have is carriage return. So I'm going to press enter, and you will see now that the extension here now, NACL, right, has made us get to the name access list. Press a question mark here again. So you see, we could write it, permit, deny, exit, or so on in our access list. So what we're going to do now is to permit the two network to get access to our web server, right, which is 1.254. All right, and then we will attach it to the interface as a name access list. So I'll begin by saying permit, all right, TCP, because I'm already in NACL, all right, TCP, we want the two network 192.168.2.0 network, right, and we'll use the wildcard bits because it's the inverse to the subnet mask, all right, and we want to reach our host 192.168.1.254 equal to port 80, only on port 80. All right, and I'll press enter. Okay, so we're going to permit the two network, anybody on the two network, to access the web server port, which is the www port 80 only on the web server, which is 1.254. We also want to add the 4 network. So I'm just going to go up arrow here a little bit. I'm just going to delete some of this stuff here and hide across here. Instead of putting TCP, I'll go IP. So permit IP, right? Wildcard bits again. And I would want it to access the 4 networks. So it's 192.168.4.0, right? And again, we'll put the subnet mask, which is the inverse basically of our wildcard bits. All right, and I press enter, and I'll go end, and I'm going to copy run start this. All right, and what we're going to do now is to show run, right, to see our access list being set up. Okay, all right, so we still have to put it on the interface. All right, so I'll head back to conft again, and of course I'm going to go into interface, fast Ethernet 0/1 on R1. All right, and I'm going to go IP, press enter, IP access dash group, and the number that I would have used would have been, well, the name actually would have been web inbound. All right, press enter, end, and copy, run, start. All right, show run to see if it applies to the interface. Right, says they apply to the interface. All right, so basically what we're going to do now, we're going to take any host to see if we can reach a web server. Let's click off this. So there's no longer, because we don't want these things to be denied anymore or permitted. We're going to take the host 2.100, and we're going to access the 1.24 web services. All right, and we could check first to make sure if the web service is on, which is always on by default. All right, services, right, you can see HTTPS and HTTP is on. All right, and we will go to a desktop web browser, and we will try to contact that server 192.168.1.254. Press enter. Right, and as you can see that we were able to access this web server. But if we was to go to our command prompt and we was to try to ping 192.168.1.254, it's supposed to say it is unreachable. All right. However, if you are supposed to ping the 4 network 192.168.4 and the IP address from 4 would be 4.100, as you could see here. Press enter. We just wait for the address resolution protocol to map against this MAC addresses, and you'll see we'll be able to reach there. All right. So this is what we consider as a name access list.